Traveling the back roads from Canada to Mississippi, Methodist minister Lorenzo Dow preached sermons of fire and brimstone in churches, homes, tents, and open fields. Camp meetings, they called them. The thousands who attended were part of a second Great Awakening that swept American cities and frontiers in the early 1800s.
People were concerned with salvation, with whether they would be saved after death. More and more, this question loomed larger in the lives of people who were trying to deal with wrenching social changes.
Followers of Lorenzo Dow and others who were filled with religious devotion sought to reform themselves and their society. They believed they could revive the Republic by getting closer to God.
They were really aimed at getting people to inspect their own souls and to have a kind of rebirth, a kind of awakening, a spiritual awakening that would allow them to feel at peace and saved and sure, and that they were perfectible, that they could in fact reform themselves.
It was a message that reached from the poorest Americans to the most powerful politicians.
Man can be elevated. Man can become more and more endowed with divinity. And as he does, he becomes more godlike in his character and capable of governing himself. Andrew Jackson, 1828.
Women played important roles in church congregations, and a growing number sought to be official leaders. Jarena Lee, an African-American woman born in Philadelphia, believed God had called her to preach in her African Methodist Episcopal Church. Her pastor encouraged her to work and pray, but would not ordain her. In other churches, women could not speak or pray publicly when men were present. Facing these roadblocks, many women formed their own organizations and ministered to people through abolition, women's rights causes, anti-lynching crusades, and teaching. Would they bring heaven to earth?